If you think August is too late to be getting seeds in the ground or to be getting plants in the ground for a fall garden, well, I have good news for you. It is not. And we're going to talk about 10 crops that you can be getting in the ground now, as well as some perennial berries and fruit trees that you can be getting in now to start your food forest. I'm Danielle of the Garden Next Door. Welcome along. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, I definitely suggest hitting that subscribe button so that you can come along for all gardening adventures. And we're going to be breaking down today the 10 crops you can get in September. Now, the September garden, or the late August, because it's around August 23rd right now, is looking a little disheveled. We have tomatillos pouring out. I have some garden cleanup that I've created already. So we're starting to clean out some of our garden already, which means that there's actually open spots that you can be adding these crops to. Now, the first thing that you really want to think about before actually thinking about any plants that you can get into your garden is, what is your first frost date? And it's really easy to do because we have the beautiful Google. All you need to do, type into Google your zip code and first frost date, and it's going to churn out a date for you. Mine is October 16th, and then you can go in and say, how many days do I have till that date? Right now it is 54 days I have until October 16th, which means I have 50 growing time at least for everything that I'm talking about today. And you might have a variety of that time depending on when you're watching this. So let's break it down. The first category of plants that we're going to talk about is our leafy greens. Now, leafy greens actually prefer cooler temperatures as opposed to the heat of July and August. And oftentimes a lot of these leafy greens are going to start to bolt or turn to seed if you have them in the hot heat of summer. So they're actually going to thrive at this time of year as long as you're planting the correct varieties and you're really thinking about how much time you have. Now, oftentimes these are probably your first set of plants going in the spring and your first to harvest, because a lot of them do have really fast growing capabilities, or they're going to go from seed to what you can actually harvest pretty quickly. The first plant that we're going to talk about is lettuce. Now, there are really two different types. You have more of a ball of lettuce, something like an iceberg lettuce, and this isn't going to be the lettuce that you want to be planting right now, because oftentimes it's going to take a pretty long time to get to its full mature state. Instead, what we want to be focusing on right now is more of the loose lettuce, so something like a bib lettuce. And the reason that we want to focus on this is because it's going to grow independently, and we can start to clip the sections that we want of the lettuce as we want them. So getting your seeds, get them in all of the little crevices that you can, and then start to grow it out. And then as it's growing any of the lettuces, you can just clip what you need as you need it. Now, if you are looking to do full deep into winter gardening, you can think about planting in a section where you can have more of a cold frame, which is basically just a covering over your vegetables, so you are keeping it a little bit warmer, maybe something that has windows or glass around it so that it's really keeping in the sun and making more of a greenhouse effect. And there, maybe you can do something that is going to take a little bit longer because you're going to have that nice cold frame around it. The next item is spinach. This is an amazing leafy green that you can get into the ground in September. Now, oftentimes what I will do is actually pre-soak the seeds before I get them in. This means that 24 hours before I'm planting, you can just get the seeds, put them in a cup of water, let them sit overnight, and this will just help them go to germination a lot faster and start to get your plants that you can be harvesting a lot quicker. Now, what is really amazing about September gardening is when you think about spring gardening, you're actually digging into a pretty cold ground. But when we think about our nice September soil, it actually is going to be a lot warmer soil. It's been sitting in the sun all day. It is nice and warm as opposed to a spring soil, and it's going to help with the germination process. So when you are starting your seeds indoors in the spring, usually you're starting them on a nice heat plate, or you need to actually heat the seeds to help germinate it. When you're in the September garden, we don't have to do that because the sun and Mother Nature is doing a lot of that for us, which is amazing and is going to help us get to the speed that we want. Now, you may want to look into different varieties of spinach to make sure that you're getting something that you really like and enjoy. But spinach is an amazing crop that you can get in now. And what's really nice is usually in the heat of summer, it will start to bolt, but it's not going to do that because it's going to be nice and cool for you. Another leafy green that we can be thinking about at this time is going to be arugula. Arugula is a great crop to be getting in now because you can actually start to pick some of the smaller arugula leaves and really benefit from the nutrients that's in that nice small arugula. It's going to have a nice sharp taste for you. And then if you are having a lot more time to be growing, then you can wait for it to get to a larger size. But arugula, you can start to eat it at a smaller size and still have a great benefit of it. Our last leafy green variety is going to be our kale. Now, I absolutely love kale. It is very nutritious, filled with iron and other great minerals that you can be adding to your diet or to a smoothie. I love kale not only because I think it tastes great and there's a lot of varieties, a lot of great ways that you can be cooking it up, but it actually can get sweeter with the colder temperatures. And there are a few other items that we'll talk about that are the same. So as it gets colder, it will get a little bit sweeter in taste, and it can take pretty cold temperatures and still come out on the other end. It's a really hardy crop. What is nice about kale is when you are growing it, you can start to harvest from the outer edges of your plant, and this will not actually take away from the energy of your plant. It will continue to grow in the center of your plant and get nice and tall for you. I've also found that there's a lot less diseases, a lot less insects coming at your plant when you're growing them in the colder months, which is a really nice benefit that you have at this time of year. And then you have a nice bushel of kale that you can be eating all through the fall time. Cooking up, sauteing, freezing, adding to smoothies, whatever you like. Now, as we look at our September garden, we see that there are small pockets within our beds, and these are amazing spaces that we can be adding our next set of items. Our next family of crops that we can be adding to our garden at this time is going to be our herbs. Now, I talked a lot about herbs in a recent video, and a lot of those herbs are going to pertain to what you can actually be planting in September as well. So let's talk about them again, and if you want a deeper dive, I'll link it down below. The first one that we're going to talk about today is going to be cilantro. Now, if you have not had success growing cilantro this garden season, don't worry. Summer is oftentimes one of the hardest times to have success with cilantro. It is really going to thrive in the cooler temperatures. So try getting your cilantro in now. And what I love about growing herbs at this time of year is it's really going to add a lot more flavor into all of your meals in your fall cooking when we're making our soups, our broths, our chilies, anything like that. The seasonings are the best part that's really going to make it pop when you're using a fresh herb. I also love herbs right now because you can take your herbs and chop them up into little tiny pieces, stick them into an ice cream tray, and freeze them in some oil, and then add them to any of your sauteed dishes as you're going into the cooler months. That's a great way to preserve them. You can also dry them out, add them to your own seasonings, which is so funny because a packet of your own dried herbs or a jar of your own herbs is like $8 for a jar of organic herbs when you could just be taking your own plants, cutting them up, drying them out, and making your own. Pennies on the dollar when you're thinking about the seed cost to a plant. So get your herbs in now. It's your last chance before next season. The next herb that you could be adding is dill. We had so many cucumbers this year, and I actually have added some more in the later summer. So I know that I'm gonna have a lot more cucumbers coming in. And that means that if I want to be preserving my cucumbers into the colder months, because we love pickles, dill is gonna be something that I need to add to it. So I am getting that in now so I can have it for my fall pickles. I also love dill because it's a great pollinator that you can be adding to your garden in order to bring more pollinators in at the end of the year and make sure that they come, stay here, create their little nests and hibernation here, and then they're here in the spring again. Another great, cool, loving herb is going to be parsley. And this is a really fun, delicious herb you can be adding right now as well. Your garden, this is a great time to be adding some plants that don't take up that much room. Things like beets as well as radishes are great to be added at this time. Now, we are not big beet or radish loving people here at our house, so I don't usually plant them, but I know that if you are fans of them, that you can actually be getting a double whammy at this time, because you can be planting them for the root vegetable that we all know about, but you can also be planting them for the leafy greens that are on top. So if your beets or radishes do not make it to their full maturity, you can go ahead and just harvest the greens on top and still benefit from planting these lovely crops. Now, this sadly brings us to our number 10 on the list, but stay tuned because we're also going to go over some berries and fruit trees right after this. But number 10 is one of my favorite crops for the fall time and for fall dishes, and that is our beautiful carrots. Now, somebody came in here and ate the tops of this one, but I have been successionally planting carrots for a while now. And if you do want to get in some more carrots for September, then I do suggest getting them in now quick. And choose a fast growing small variety so that it is going to get to its full form in enough time. Because you don't want to come and see that it's just a little tiny nub and you're pulling out that as a carrot come October, November. We want to get something that is actually going to full fruition. So get your carrots in now, get your carrots in quick, and this way we can go ahead and harvest some carrots into the late fall. Again, choose a variety that's going to be fast growing, and you can look at the back of your packets when you're at the store or when you're ordering online, and I'll include a list of everything that I would suggest if I was in zone 7A ordering a fast growing crop down below in my blog article. Now, I must admit, we have all of our berries in containers. I absolutely love metal container raised garden beds. And if you have a small space or you want to grow in containers, I highly, highly, highly suggest container gardens from Vejo. I absolutely love them. I will link them down below. But in here, I have my blueberry bushes. Now, what's really important about berry bushes is, one, a lot of these are going to be permanent spaces. Unless you're doing container beds and then you can move them around, but you're planting straight in ground, they're going to be living here for years, and they're going to be providing food for your family for years. So you want to get them in the right space. And when you're thinking about planting blueberry bushes, we want to think about putting them in really acidic loving soil. So test the area of where you're going to be putting your berry bushes and make sure that it is a nice acidic soil, or amend the soil to actually help raise the acidity of your soil. And this is going to make sure that your berry bushes grow nice and big and they provide fruit for your family. Now, right now it is around August 23rd. It's going to be a little bit early to be planting our berry bushes, but what I do suggest is ordering them after you watch this video. And I will provide some links down below of some of my favorites. But you want to be planting your berry bushes around 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes. So anywhere between September, October time, late September, get them in the ground. And this way it's not too hot that it's going to fry your plants, but they're going to actually have time to root in the ground before the ground is frozen. And then what's really nice is in the spring or next year in the harvesting time, depending on what type of bushes you have, you'll start to reap the benefits of these. Now, the ability to be able to pick your own raspberries and blackberries, so delicious. And raspberries and blackberries are just becoming very pricey. One small container is $4, $5, $6, and the amount that these produce is just insane. Berry bushes need to be trained a little bit. So we are going to be revising our setup. Raspberries and blackberries cannot be contained. This whole row here was one plant. They just keep shooting more roots up. So we divided them out of our bucket that we had them in. And now we have 10 plants out of one bare root. So they are going to grow and multiply. So think about that. What we will do is we will cut down the canes, which is this stem, cut it down every year. It will grow fresh. And then we will take a wire, grow across them, and keep them nice and contained so that they can grow nice and straight. Another thing we should be thinking about growing at this time is fruit trees. Now, whether you have a small amount of space and you just want to put one fruit tree, you can get something like a fruit salad tree, which is usually 3 to 4 varieties of a fruit, and they're usually self-pollinating, so it will help pollinate with each other. Otherwise, if you have more space, then you can get an individual tree, something like apple, plum, nectarines, peaches, apricots. These are all great fruit trees that you can be getting in the ground now. I love planting a fall fruit tree because I think it is a lot less work on you. That is because if you're getting your fruit tree in 4 to 6 weeks before the ground freezes over, you only need to worry about watering and maintaining that plant for 4 to 6 weeks, okay? And then it's going to go dormant, your plant, which means you don't really have to water it. You don't have to do anything for it. And then come this spring, it's already created roots down into the ground. And oftentimes you don't need to be watering it as heavily as if you do a spring tree, and you need to be watering it well into the deeps of the summer on a weekly basis. Otherwise, it is not going to root and it is not going to fare well. I think that if you get them in a fall time period, then they usually are a lot hardier. That's me. I don't know. I think it's easier. Some things to keep in mind is, 1, is the fruit tree going to grow in your region? 2, is it going to be a disease-resistant tree? You want to grow something that isn't going to be really susceptible to disease. Disease is super easy on fruit trees, so think about looking into that as you're doing your fruit tree research. And lastly, this is not an apple tree that I have here. This is a crab apple tree. This is a doggo crab apple, and we have this because all of our apple trees that we have in our orchard, they need to be pollinated. And the only way to pollinate an apple tree is with a crab tree. Look into the fruit trees that you're getting. Either get self-pollinating trees. You can add that in the criteria when you're doing your search for your trees. Get your bare roots again. And also, if they are not, then you need to say what's going to pollinate it. Is a plum tree need another plum tree to pollinate it, or can it live with itself? Kiwis, you need a male and a female kiwi tree in order to pollinate them. So think about that and order accordingly. Okay, let's recap. We talked about 10 seeds that you can be getting direct sow into the ground. You can also be successionally planting these. We talked about different berries and fruit trees that you can be getting in the ground now so that you can be reaping the benefits of next year. These are just some of the things that I would be doing now if I was in your feet, and I hope this was helpful. Comment down below what you're going to be adding to your garden this year, and I'll see you again next time.